Hello friends, I am Shubhra Bhattacharya from Medical College Kolkata and I want to discuss cardiovascular system in this module, and please download the PDF which I shared in your groups. And before going to the question answer discussion of the previous 10 years, I want to discuss some important and basic concept but most understandable concept of cardiovascular system which would help you a lot in solving any questions regarding this. Okay, so first of all, I want to say, like in chronic heart failure, okay, or any heart disease which cause the decrease, sorry, which cause the decrease in cardiac output. Please draw the table, because the table or the chart is not provided in your PDF, but the chart is very important. Okay, when there is a decrease in cardiac output, there is an activation of sympathetic system. If there is activation of sympathetic system, then what will be occur? Noradrenaline or adrenaline increase in amount. Okay, noradrenaline acts on alpha receptor, they acts on beta receptor. Okay, we know A, B, C, D. Okay, so A for constriction, B for dilation. Okay, so alpha receptor cause vessel constriction. We have two vessels, artery and vein. So there may be vein, there may be artery constriction. Okay, when there will be vein constrict, so there will be increase in preload. Okay, and there, when there is the artery will be constricted, then there is the afterload, increase in afterload. Is that clear? This pathway is clear. Okay. Now coming to this pathway, when act on beta, the beta 1 receptor present on the heart, which helps to increase cardiac output. This is a compensatory method. But beta 1 is also present in the juxtaglomerular apparatus or JG cell of kidney. So look on the action of the beta 1 receptor in the JG cell. Okay. Please draw the whole diagram. That is our beta 1 receptor. Adrenaline get activated is, and from this, what is this? This is renin. Renin will increase in amount. Okay. What renin does? This is angiotensinogen convert into angiotensin 1. Okay. From the lungs, there is a enzyme, ACE enzyme or angiotensin converter enzyme, which convert angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. and angiotensin 2 bind with the receptor of angiotensin 2, which cause release of aldosterone. And the aldosterone what does in urine and in blood? Please leave the image on the blood. The sodium, the water is increased in the blood. Okay, and the H plus and K plus will decrease. There is the whole mechanism. How beta adrenaline acts on beta 1 and how adrenaline works. Okay. Now coming to this receptor, which is called angiotensin 2 receptor. When angiotensin 2 binds with angiotensin receptor, then some methods or then some what will be happen, which they are like vasoconstriction and effect on heart. Okay. So I will discuss this part in a previous chart. Okay. Please draw the previous chart. This is angiotensin 2 bind with the angiotensin receptor. For that, there will be vasoconstriction. For the vasoconstriction, increase in the total peripheral resistance. When there is an increase in total peripheral resistance, then we know the preload increase. When there is an increase of preload, there will be more muscle should be there to pump, so there will be hypertrophy or remodeling. So what will be the effect on the heart? And also one thing, when there is a vasoconstriction, there will be increase the amount of adrenaline or noradrenaline, which against act on beta 1 and release of renin, and the whole cycle will be repeated. So what is the effect on the heart? First of all, hypertrophy. Next, hyperplasia. Okay. Then expression of some proto-oncogene. Okay. And there will be a hypertrophy, there will be hyperplasia, there is some expression of some proto-oncogene, and there will be there will be increased intracellular matrix of myocardium. There will be increase of intracellular matrix of myocardium. For that, the hypertrophy or hyperplasia will be occur. There is some expression of proto-oncogene and secretion of some growth factors. And for that, direct effect on constriction of smooth muscle. So there will be some bad effect of angiotensin 2 when binds with angiotensin 2 receptor. Hypertrophy, there may be LVH or left ventricular hypertrophy. So we have to prevent this. So for that, I will discuss all drugs and the points where the drugs will be acting and the side effects of the drugs along with. Okay, increase of renin or adrenaline, I don't use range. Okay. Acts on beta 1 of juxtaglomeratic apparatus or JCCL. Renin, angiotensin 2, angiotensinogen 2, angiotensin 1, which convert with angiotensin converted enzyme to angiotensin 2, binds with angiotensin receptor of aldosterone. Okay, so from the first we can block here. First of all, beta 1 which get activated the JG cell, we can stop there. So there will be a beta 1 blocker. 1. Secondly, we can stop renin. Okay, we can stop renin. Thirdly, we can stop angiotensin ACE inhibitor. We use an ACE inhibitor to stop this conversion. Okay, and nextly we can stop here 3, 4 in the level of receptor. So there are some angiotensin receptor blocker, or we can stop here some aldosterone inhibitor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now coming to from 1, then I come to 5, and I will discuss every drug, most of the drugs, and some side effects of them. Okay. So I will the first two. One is beta 1 blocker or renin synthesis inhibitor, and the renin. So we know the beta blockers like carvedilol, metoprolol, bisoprolol. Okay, and we know the side effects of beta 1 blocker. So I will remove this and come to the renin inhibitors. Okay, so how will remember this? We have to inhibit renin. Okay, so we have to inhibit renin. So add Kiren after all this. This is my click. So remikiren, enalkiren, like that, and all are oral drug. Okay, so they are renin inhibitors. Now coming to the ACE inhibitor. We know the last word of ACE inhibitor is pril. Like captopril, lisinopril, ramipril, enalapril, pedinodpril. Okay, so these are products, and when the ramipril, enalapril, they will be active, the active form is Prilat, like ramiprilat, enalaprilat. Okay, so they are the ACE inhibitors. Now coming to the side effects. Okay, so there is a pril, so there is a PCAT. One cat is there, but P is there. So PCAT. P for postural hypertension. C for cough. A for angioedema. And T for taste alteration. But in case of taste alteration, the captopril or lisinopril not show the taste alteration. Okay, C and L not showing that. Now coming to the contraindication, there is a P, so there is a P, and KR. KKR So care. Okay. So what is this P? This P is pregnancy. K, increased in potassium. R, bilateral, renal, arterial stenosis. So there are the contraindications, there is the side effects, and there is the some important drugs of ACE inhibitors. Okay, now coming to the next, which is angiotensin receptor blocker. So they blocks every angiotensin receptor. So they are selective angiotensin receptor antagonist. Okay. So they are selective angiotensin or AT1 receptor antagonist. So they are AS, A, RT, AN. Saturn, selective angiotensin receptor antagonist. Okay. So what Saturn? They may be low Saturn, maybe valsartan, telmisartan, iprosartan, candesartan. So they are Saturn group. And what is the side effect? Again, taste alteration or dysgeusia or orthostatic. And what is the contraindication? Again, PKR, pregnancy, increase in potassium, and bilateral artery stenosis. Okay, that's I will cover the AT1 receptor blocker. Now coming to the aldosterone antagonist like spironolactone, eplerenone. Spironolactone has a side effect on gynecomastia, but eplerenone has no side effect on gynecomastia. Okay, so we cover the drugs acting on the RAS system, and now coming to the how nitrates work. Okay, before the nitrates, how nitrates works, we know that. First of all, I want to discuss how vessels are constricted. Okay, so what is the mechanism behind that? Like this is a cell membrane, and there is a channel which is calcium channel. Please draw the diagram carefully and understand the mechanism because it is a very important mechanism. Okay, so there is the our calcium channel, and this is our calcium. Through the calcium channel, calcium entered into the cell. There is a molecule called calmodulin. Both binds and form calcium calmodulin complex. When calcium calmodulin complex is formed, they active one enzyme. It's called myosin light chain kinase. Myosin light chain kinase. Okay. What it does? That is our myosin molecules. They add phosphate group into the myosin, phosphorylation occurs, and the myosin phosphate then bind with our actin, and there is occurrence of constriction. So we have to break this chain for the vessel dilatation. So what we use? We use nitrates. Nitrates come here. Okay, and Nitrates activate guanine cyclase enzyme. When guanine cyclase enzyme is activated, then GTP forms into cyclic GMP. Okay, and the cyclic GMP then activates protein kinase G. Okay, the protein kinase G activate the phosphatase enzyme. Okay, and the phosphatase enzyme convert myosin bind with the potassium, bind with the phosphate group into the normal myosin. It's transformed myosin phosphate to myosin, and there is the breaking of the active myosin complex. So there will be the vasodilation. So thus our nitrates work on the protein kinase G molecule and break the whole chain. Okay. Now I will discuss some previous 10 years question. Please rebound. Okay, now coming to the previous 10 years question of WBUHS. So first question is, isosorbicide dinitrate or IDN was used in angina sublingually. Okay, so firstly how the nitrates act I will discuss just immediately. So please go through the PDF. The whole discussion will be in the PDF. Please draw the diagram by the previously said nitrate work. Quick onset of action. Second of all, less systemic side effects. Third action, fast metabolism will overcome, and small amount of drug is required than oral routes. Okay, so that's this why we use sublingually. And nitrates I discussed previously. A nitrate, like nitrates dilate the smooth muscle or relax the smooth muscle. Dilation was occurred into the venous and to the artery. When the artery decreases the preload, artery decreases in the afterload, heart will be relaxing. Okay, so thus will go proceed, but the technique is the same. Now coming to the second question, like ACE inhibitor used in chronic heart failure, I will discuss. Now coming to the next question, nephridine in the hypertension or as a or as an antihypertensive drug. In the PDF you get the answer, but I want to mention one thing in that, like there is a baroreceptor. We know that in our blood vessel there is baroreceptor. Okay, when that increase of diastolic blood pressure, the baroreceptor will be activated. Okay, and when the baroreceptor is activated, acts on CNS, and CNS is activated, act on parasympathetic nervous system. When parasympathetic get activated, there is an inhibition of the heart rate, so decrease in the heart rate. Okay, and what nephridine done? It is a L-type calcium channel blocker. So there is a vasodilatation. So there is a vasodilatation. There is a decrease of diastolic blood pressure. So there is a decrease of diastolic blood pressure. So there will be increase of heart rate. Okay. So direct no effect on the heart rate, but thus by decreasing the diastolic blood pressure have an effect on the heart rate. Okay. Coming to the next question, the side effect of ACE inhibitors. ACE inhibitor also interrupt into the bradykinin metabolism. So the bradykinin gets accumulated, and the bradykinin is an irritant substance into the trachea or lungs. So there will be a cough. Okay. Bradykinin also increase the prostaglandin secretion, and the irritation of the trachea and the lungs of the upper respiratory tract will be increased, and there will be cough. Substance P also a irritant which increase in case of ACE inhibitor use, and they all are protrusive and they cause cough. So persistent brucey cough is the side effect of ACE inhibitor. But after dysregularity of 5 to 4 days of this drug, the whole side effects will be gone. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Adenosine, it's IV injected in 1 to 3 seconds. If we use as a free base, so 6 to 12 milligram, and if we use as a ATP, so we have to use 10 to 20 milligram. Okay. Now coming to the mode of action, how adenosine works in PSVD. Okay. First of all, adenosine activate the ACH sensitive K plus channels. Okay. And when they are activated, membrane will be hyperpolarized. And when there is a membrane will be hyperpolarized, then there is an interaction between A1 type G protein coupled adenosine receptors. Okay. On our pacemaker cells like SNO. If they depress the SNO, they depress the SNO, and which cause bradycardia, and acts on the FNO, and they slow down the atrium contraction or the conduction. So thus adenosine acts on the membrane hyperpolarization, and the G protein coupled adenosine receptors is activated, SNO is depressed, FNO is depressed, so there is a slowdown of atrium conduction and bradycardia, so there will be decrease of action potential. So adenosine acts decrease the action potential, so there will be decrease of excitability. And adenosine has a indirect effect on the calcium channels of the AV node. Okay, so there is a indirect effect, decrease the calcium channel activation of the AV node. So there is where decrease in case of re-entry circuit. Okay, so there is a decrease in the re-entry circuit, and there is a re-entry circuit is decreased, then the atrium to ventricle, the conduction will be decreased, and there will be termination of PSVT. Okay, the whole discussion is given in your PDF. Please draw the chart and read the PDF. Now coming to the advantages of ACE inhibitor use. First of all, there will be no postural hypertension, there will be no electrolyte disbalance, and there will be no CNS effects or weakness. Okay, we can use these ACE inhibitor drugs in asthmatic patient, in diabetic patient. As the ACE inhibitor also decrease the aldosterone, so they will also use as a secondary hyperaldosteronemia. And as they decrease the aldosterone effect, so there will be use or prevent the potassium loss. And thus the renal blood flow was maintained by ACE inhibitors. And there will be no hyperuricemia, there will be no withdrawal, no effect on plasma lipid, and no rebound hypertension. So these are advantages of ACE inhibitor. Now coming to the why beta blocker is contraindicated in case of variant angina. Okay, we know in a artery, in the coronary artery, there is alpha 1 receptor and beta 1 receptor. We know A, B, C, D. So alpha 1 gives constriction and beta 1 gives dilatation. And if we block the beta 1 receptor, so there is no opposition of vasoconstriction, so vasoconstriction will be increased. And if in the coronary artery unopposed vasoconstriction is increased, there will be variant angina precipitation occur. So therefore we do not use, or this is a contraindicated in case of variant angina. So that is the, I will discuss the mechanism of action of statins. We know cholesterol, to the LDL receptor, the LDL goes into the liver, and a HMG-CoA pathway, the cholesterol is formed, and the statins first effect, it's inhibit the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. For that, the cholesterol decreased first. Secondly, the LDL receptors get increased. Okay, so cholesterol is taken. The cholesterol is taken in much amount, and for the cholesterol in case of blood it gets decreased. So thus the statins work. Some examples like atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, carbistatin, they all are anti-dyslipidemia drugs. Okay. So I will cover the most of the things of the cardiac. Some long questions like the drugs used in angina pectoris, the drugs, the outline of the management of unstable angina, the digoxin in case of congestive cardiac failure. They all are given as a long question in your PDF. Okay, so I will discuss most of the things of the cardiovascular systems, and the next video will be on the hematopharmacology, vitamin and heavy metals, and thus we will cover the paper 1. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, you are in second year of WBUHS, join my WhatsApp group for your help.